Hi, contemporary design issues, and welcome to week three. I've just been kind of looking around at week three, and I want to go through a couple of things that I think are really, really worthwhile. And for those of you who have already jumped into week three, this is kind of where, yes, this is where the rubber hits the road, so to speak. I mean, this kind of explains everything. And those of you who have had questions during week one and during week two about what's this design process? What do we need more information to start this project? And you're correct. In many ways, you do need more information. And this week, everything's going to start to make sense because you'll see that if we were to have introduced week three during week one, it just would not have sunk in at all. So I guess just by teaching sustainability in design, you start by teaching design and introducing sustainability as opposed to introducing sustainability and then applying it to design. I hope that makes sense. It really is an interesting way of looking at the presentation of the material, to say the least. This week we're talking about systems thinking. And this is really an important thing because for those of you who have been getting my comments where I'm saying, okay, you're handling this like a design project. This is what we know. But I don't want you to think about just the design. I want you to think about the substructure behind the design or the system. So that's what systems thinking is this way of thinking about not only do I want to pick the colors, the typeface, and the collateral pieces, but I also want to pick the glue. I want to decide how this package is assembled and distributed in a way that at least infracts the sustainable goal. Sorry, so that's really what we're doing, thinking about this systems thinking, and that's what I really want you to shift gears this week and start thinking about systems thinking, aka all those comments during week two for those of you who I said, hey, listen, this is great for a design project, but hey, wait a second, where's the sustainability? Where's the backbone? Where's the substructure behind your design decisions? Meaning, where's the sustainability, and show evidence of that. And here's a systems thinking example. This is good. And these questions right here, if you could just think about these questions, this is just simply an example where it says, okay, we're going to hand out a flyer. Okay, so the questions are, how will this flyer benefit the environment? How will people use the flyer or benefit from the flyer? Is the flyer cost effective, cost efficient in a way to relay the information? In other words, are you killing 10 trees to print one flyer that says, hey, don't kill trees to make paper? Do you see what I'm saying? What ideas or options come to your mind other than a flyer which litters the ground and the landfill? So those of you who have thought of your collateral pieces as a brochure or a flyer, have you thought about what the consumer or what the recipient is going to do with said piece after they're done with it? And even if they do discard it responsibly, how does the actual materials of the subject handle, are they recyclable? How do they handle going to a landfill? Are they going to be there in 1,000 years? Are they going to create dioxins when they're incinerated, if they're incinerated? Or are they biodegradable? Okay, that's design. That's systems thinking. So now we mix systems thinking into this design thinking that we're talking about from week one and week two, and we're starting to see the big picture approach to the systems thinking. So this is a really good way, an approach to start thinking about your project, the system, the backbone, the substructure behind your project. Systems design, this is a good video. Watch it. It's very, very good. Explains so much, little details in using examples that we can all readily understand and relate to. Sustainable materials, you're going to want to keep an eye on this. And also, when this opens, because you have a.
Here are a few examples of how a small
Oh,
measure of sustainability
this video is good, but man, this guy is so dry. Why do they make videos like that? Why not? You'll see what I mean when you watch it. But definitely watch it. There's some great material in there. You have sustainability tools, which these are great, guys, because these are your life cycle assessment, your social return on investment. These are important things, and you should use one or two of these in your presentations, guys. All of these things I'm showing you are able to be used in your design presentation, okay? So please make yourself familiar with all the course materials, video, the story of stuff. This might be the most powerful video in all of sustainability. Watch it. It's about a half an hour long. I've watched it before, and I watched it again this morning, and I've seen it probably 10 times, and I never turn it off when it comes on. It's incredible, and it will blow you away. I guarantee it. You will blow you away. This video will. So see if you can make time to watch it, and then if you have a chance, go to the website, and that's the story of stuff. So really good movement, and this was just a simple video that turned into a pretty global sized movement. So really good stuff there. And then you have sustainable strategies. This is important because these sustainable strategies directly tie in with your course project. Agencies using sustainable design, good idea of some of that work. And then you have your summary. Now I want to look at week 1 discussion. You will write 11 sustainable design questions. That is in your presentation. I just showed it 2 pages ago. There's the 11 questions. It's also in your webliography. There's the whole website for the 11 sustainable design questions. I highly recommend visiting the webliography page, guys, because here's your 11 sustainable design. And look, guys, there is an entire presentation in here. So you guys should be able to look at this and say, wait a second, I can use this information. I think I'm going to show this graph in my presentation. So as long as it's applicable, you may have to redesign the graph and use your research in it, whatever the case may be. My point here being that you guys have a ton of really, really amazing resources to fall back on for this week's assignment. Back to discussion question 1 for week 3. So you have, you will research present day physical material options for your studio project. So this is, you're going to actually start researching the materials you're going to use, the glues, the adhesives, the inks, the dyes, the varnishes, the staples, the paper, the substrate they're printed on, anything like packaging material, etc. So you want to look at the Sustainable Tools lecture and read the 11 sustainable questions, and then copy these in a Word doc and write your response based on those. Each question that relates in a giveaway product in the collateral giveaway products that you guys are designing for your final course project. Look at the options in terms of production and suitable materials for each component. Very important. Very important. Look, folks, here I'm going to jump over. That's all I really need to see. The rest is self-explanatory. So I'm going to jump over to. Oh, by the way, guys, describe 3 to 5 physical material options for creating each piece. Be sure to cite your sources, okay? Now, I am going to jump over to question 2, discussion question 2, and here we're going to create mock-ups of your trade show booth, collateral, and for information, 3 details. So I want mock-ups now. These are relatively straightforward. They should be close to your final mock-up, so they should not, they should be relatively advanced at this point based on last week's and the week before comments. 3D giveaway product, show it from several angles. See, so again, from the design standpoint, you're going to render your trade show booth, label and describe it as appropriate. Include your materials list, guys. Create a rough of the collateral piece where you'll use Adobe Illustrator to give drawings of your 3D giveaway. Show it from several angles, guys. Really describe it as you are going to be selling it to a client per se. So you really need to describe it in your presentation. Sustainability issues that you are discovering, if you can use in your area, you can use, or are you finding sustainability factors in just very complicated? Now, how are you solving these years? Now, keep this question isolated to your area of your presentation, okay? So instead of how are you solving these issues, instead of answering that on a global level, just define this answer based on your particular presentation and your project, okay? And then you've got your assignment specifications and your assignment submission requirements, okay? So listen, guys, I just want to say one more thing this week. It's a really important week. This is not your regular design class. We're just designing a project, okay? This should go in your portfolio as a sustainable design project. So that means when you go and interview with folks like me, I'll be looking at your sustainable project, and I'm going to have a bunch of questions for you about your sustainable project. So it's really, really important to understand the systems design as opposed to design thinking, as it were. Words like recyclable or post-consumer, those are no good, okay? That doesn't mean anything to me anymore. You should know that. It shouldn't mean anything to you anymore. We're looking for details. You have your vocabulary for sustainable graphic designers, and that's located in your materials. So you have a lot of things here that you can talk about: e-waste, greenwashing, made-ready paper, overconsumption, pre-consumer waste, carbon footprint, and a lot of this vocabulary I expect to see in your presentations, guys. Okay, that's all I have. I took a long time. I'm sorry. It's a very, very busy chapter. Like I said, this is the one where the rubber meets the road. So a lot of work to do this week, guys. I mean, I personally spent probably 3 hours this morning going over the course, and I've taught this course before, so it should give you an idea that, yeah, there's some material here. So, and it's all for like the greater good of design, in that you'll be designing a sustainable project. By the way, I'm going to let you go with this thought. Did you know that sustainable graphic design is now offered as a master's program, as a graphic design? I believe it's also offered in some schools as a graphic design bachelor's. And also, believe it or not, I also saw a couple of community colleges in the United States that are offering sustainable graphic design as an associate's degree. So, wow. So anyways, big stuff, good stuff, exciting stuff, and I'm glad you're a part of it. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in discussion board.